Hello Aries, this is going to be a monthly video for February, and it is for you if you are Sun, Moon, Rising Aries. That will be allocated in your birth chart, or have any of your planets in Aries. So first things first, in the beginning of February, Mercury will be in its shadow period. Around the 8th of Feb, Venus moves into Aries. And Venus in Aries is all about your relationships, wanting to create peace and harmony in your life. So Aries right now, when Venus moves there, you're going to want to feel at peace. And if a relationship or situation, any relation, is not feeling at peace, you would feel the need to actually want to stand in your power in order to save your peace and create your peace. So Venus in Aries is pushing that. Aries is ruled by Mars, action, what we call the god of war, and Venus, goddess of love, luxury, and basically, spoiling yourself, which means you also should take some time to spoil yourself, because you have been working really hard, Aries, with Chiron being in Aries, Lilith, the black moon, moving into Aries for 2020. Both of these, Chiron, the wounded healer, Lilith is the dark side of the moon, and it's really highlighting your subconscious, all the wounds and fears and insecurities of Aries. Feel like, I just got to be stuck where I'm stuck. You now need to face those blocks by shifting it up and trying new things. Aries is the first zodiac, so new is what you do. And it's important for you to be inspired by change. You'll need change, and you'll need new things and creative ideas. So allow for the creative ideas to flow during the month of Feb. Mercury Retrograde is a good time for that, and the shadow period starts around the 1st. So allow for new ideas to come to you, creative ideas, and even the feeling of wanting to not stay in the same place. That is coming up strong. Same, the job situation. Even if a relationship is feeling like it's, the same, there's a feeling of wanting to change things. And there's nothing wrong with that. People change all the time. It's just that when we ourselves want to change something within a relationship, we need to make sure that the other person is willing to accept it, or it means it's a goodbye. Because it's not working out. You only accept this new version of me that I feel I've been who I've been, and now I want to be something different. I want to empower myself. I want more out of life. There's a strong wanting more out of life for Aries, wanting more, and really looking at their subconscious feelings that have been holding them back, and breaking those fears, breaking those insecurities. Chiron, the wounded healer, so the old wounds, deep old wounds are being released. The black moon being in Lilith is about where Aries wants to break free. It's all the feelings that you suppress. So if you've been suppressing any resentment, any anger during this year of 2020, now is the time that's going to want to surface. You want to break free. You want to be empowered. It's all about how we utilize this energy. There's nothing wrong with having these feelings, but how we utilize it is important. The black moon and Lilith, you've been suppressing, so now you can become extremely, to the extreme angry. Now we need to kind of bring it back a little. You can't feel angry. How do I take action when I feel angry? This isn't right for me. And the Venus energy, though, is wanting you to create this harmony and this love. And you see this life where you can have the love and happiness and harmony within your life. Also, Venus is about luxury. So there's this one for also to having the success too. You can give birth to new ideas when it comes to your career during this time. New, fresh ideas is what Aries needs. 10 years of doing the same thing is like, because you must know, before this, Uranus was in Aries. So it was there for about 7 years, so you've been dealing with doing the same thing. Now it's asking for the change. And then around the 8th Feb, we're going to have the Leo full moon, and this is going to want you to, shine, be, receive acknowledgement for who you are. That's what that Leo energy is about. Receiving attention, acknowledgement for who you are, your gifts, your talents, your creativity, your ideas, being a leader. that's what it wants from you with the full moon. But the full moon being there means that there's been times where you've actually suppressed that, held it back. So the times where you've held it back means you're going to need to release. And sometimes with the Leo energy, it can bring conflict and drama to help us release. So we'll feel like, oh my gosh, this person's just coming out at me from nowhere. Because it wants you to release where you haven't been standing in your power, where you haven't really been, putting the best foot forward and really taking charge and lead. So that's what that full moon is about. The negative side of it, the drama, the conflict, people just being more dramatic than normal. And it all depends how you're handling the new moon that we just had in Aquarius. With the full moon, that's negative, but the positive side of it is actually receiving what you truly deserve. Even if it means you actually paying acknowledgement to yourself and giving yourself a good old pat on the back for the work you've done so thus far. You really should. I mean, it's been a trying time for Aries because they've had this energy of Chiron now and the wounded healer, and it's been intense with releasing those subconscious blocks, but it's opening you up to a different form of inner healing, which is really beautiful. So that's what's happening with the full moon. And then we're going to have Mercury Retrograde, 17th of Feb to 10th of March, around that time will be Mercury Retrograde. Mercury Retrograde, planet of communication, so it means miscommunications happen then. Technology can go wonky, people from the past come back. So be wary of that. You get the opportunity to redo things. So doesn't mean you must actually go with it. It means redo, meaning that you have to relook at it, see what you've learned and release it. When we tend to stick with the things that we make decisions upon in Mercury Retrograde, we learn lessons from it when the retrograde's over. So we don't last that long. We learn, okay, this is why I said no to you, or why we didn't do business before. Mercury Retrograde is about that time. Don't sign anything or any paperwork during Mercury Retrograde. Mercury Retrograde is transiting your 11th and 12th house. 11th house is all about your social standing. So you're going to really be looking at the people around you, social, friends, family, and wanting to see, who really brings love, happiness, peace into my life, and who really disrupts that, and wanting to let go of them. Lots of things come to end, like an end cycle, Mercury Retrograde, where we actually come to a decision like no. And during Mercury Retrograde, we see the true about people. 12th house is where you actually have to open up to, again, secrets, anything that has been withheld from you, getting that knowledge. Mercury is about knowledge, information, and the 12th house is about finding out that knowledge and that information. Also, the 12th house is a lot about spiritual experiences. So astrology, crystals, tarot card readings, healings, balances, all of that kind of energy is what you actually would, as an Aries person, want to delve deeper into, because it'll help you understand your life better. The experiences that you would be going through during the Mercury Retrograde, because it's transiting 12th house, and 12th house is about deception. It's about the illusion. It's ruled by Neptune. So what we think is real, not really being real, and having to see beyond the illusion that people create for us. So be woke during this time, embrace that. Also, we're going to have the 23rd of Feb, Pisces new moon, which is again in your 12th house. So more having to deal with the spiritual experiences, looking at how you really feel, listening to your gut. So important for you, Aries, towards the end of the month, as you notice with all of this truth coming to light. You must remember Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So Neptune is about illusion, also heightens your intuition. So it means like when I tell you a lie, your gut tells you I'm lying. Trust that vibe. So you're going to have to deal with that during that time. And also Jupiter, learning experiences, so having to learn, it expands. So if you could use that time with the new moon to actually learn more about spiritual aspects, because that's what it asks you, listen to your intuition, your gut, your dreams, heightens around that time. If you were to listen to that and how you're actually feeling, you could expand on that aspect and less of the deception, illusion aspect, which is also offered up to you during this time. So just keep that in mind about what you want to create. Know it is a time for you to obviously get deep into the truth. And I mean, Chiron's been in your zodiac now since last year, the wounded healer. So you have, you know, wounded healer, you can deal with lots of betrayal during that time of last year. So now you're just learning more about listening to your intuition about people who are not really real. And this is also asking you then to become more real with yourself about how you feel about things. That's not a bad thing. That's just you learning about yourself. We all go through these experiences, and we all have these transits transiting our 12th house at some time. You're just going through it now. And it's important to have someone, obviously, that, you know, you feel connected to. You must remember the 11th and the 12th house is also about that connection, but like a spiritual connection. You know, I feel like Aries, you're really looking for your soul group, people that you can meet now on a soul level. And that's what you're doing. You're leveling up, but leveling up on a soul level, which makes life so much more bliss. Thank you for watching.